Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Thursday 3D Hangout. I'm Noe Ruiz, a designer here at Adafruit. Every week I'm joined with my brother Pedro.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Pedro Ruiz, the creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing techniques, CAD tutorials, and electronics featuring Adafruit components.
That's right. This is the show where we come together every week, combining 3D printing and DIY electronics to make some very cool projects, combining cosplay and other things.
Other 3D printing
right.
things. Look, it bleeds into everything now.
How about we do the segments?
Yeah, so every week we have a lovely assortment of segments. We start off with what are you prototyping? So we take a sneak peek at some of the in-progress projects for future episodes.
It's like internal news. It's like what we're working on.
Then we'll skip ahead and go to this week's layer by layer, where we take out some of the CAD techniques that went into producing this week's tutorial.
That's right. CADing, much CADing. 3D news.
3D news, and so we search the net every week for interesting stories that we can share with you guys.
That's right. And then we'll leave the show off with a weekly video.
That's right. Every week we have a cool video. Shows you cool 3D printing techniques, projects that you can download for free.
That's right. And this week's coupon code is GUARDS. Get 10% off your order.
That's right. Expires at 11:59 tonight. Can't get yourself, 3D printing filament, printers, electronics to bring your projects to life. It does not work on software or gift certificates.
Yeah, but everything else does. Okay, well, we're here, and we're going to go ahead and start off with our prototyping segment, right? Pedro, do you want to tell us what you got going on, or how was this weekend, or banter, or something like that?
Been a very cloudy week, which is very good for us since we have to do a lot of our soldering, sanding, post work in the garage. So it's nice and cool in there right now.
A lot of building.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked for the like a tour of the workspace, and where guys were working on it.
We're still doing that.
We had to do a lot of spring cleaning and make more room for, like I said, we're doing all the post-processing and the sanding and the painting.
Workspace for it, like
we had to build another
table.
Yeah, we had to build a whole nother shelf in there because it looks like 4 tables, hopefully, for working out there.
Finishing is a big part of our projects now. It's just to make them finished.
Yeah, especially with the new metal stuff, the wood. We always got to spray paint stuff now too.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of sanding. And of course, there's always soldering going on, so we had to separate all that stuff. And then, of course, with the resin printer, that needs its own little dedicated area to do all the post-processing work for that.
So
it's all gooey.
Three workstations.
It's about 4 workstations now out there.
Mm.
So
yeah, you're right, 4. Some for cutting PCB and fiberglass.
We'll take a look at that in a future episode.
Okay, that sounds pretty fun. But as far as physical stuff that you've got going on, Pedro, this week you've been working on a hinge.
Yes, so Lamar has a cool idea for making a cool little new pie project. She had a little libretto.
Librito. This is an Italian named, so Toshiba in the 90s came out with a very cute laptop that was, the most portable thing of its day. So now in 2015, we're going to make it with a Raspberry Pi. Pedro, tell me more about the components
so it's going to be the 3.5-inch display, and it's pretty much like the Touch Pi project.
This was a fun one. It was like a headless type mode thing.
Yeah, so we're going to make a little mini computer using the new Raspberry Pi 2, so it should have more horsepower. You can use it as a tiny little computer.
That's awesome.
So we'll, have the little Pi on the bottom there with the keyboard attached to that, and the way we're going to attach this is with a cool little hinge. Okay. So a new little widget I've been working on. A couple of hinges that I saw on Thingiverse, but none of them actually had a cool little design that I implemented, which was holding the nut on inside the slot on one of the little hinge parts here. So it's a number 6 screw that goes on this side, and then just is held in place with a little nut on the inside slot of this piece right here. So the way this is going to work is one side will be on the lid that'll have the LCD housing in there, and then this is will act as a hinge for having the little keyboard component and the rest of the body on there.
Is this the keyboard that you want to use for this?
Yeah, she wants to use the little guy that we have in the shop. Let me check out the link for that if you want to pick one up. And it's just he's going to be a little guy like that. So we'll get the Pi on the bottom here, so we add more weight to the bottom so it won't just flop over.
Yeah, I was going to say this is really chunky, so ideally what you want to do with the screen is connect it like that. But that offers a bit of chunkiness, so what you're going to do is, I suppose, use a Pi cable so that you can route that over here. This is really cool because you can have the Pi cable right here, connect it to that over there so that you have them both separate. So that's really cool. You might want to cut this off too.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're going to try to make this as slim as we can, and the little hinge mechanism is something that you wanted on there, just to have it open and close like a tiny little
open and close
laptop.
Like a laptop.
So that is very cool.
So a Raspberry Pi laptop, the smallest we can get it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really fun one. I like it, especially with the Raspberry Pi 2. It should work really, really good.
Yeah, go ahead and cut to the bigger camera.
Okay, so the next thing you want to show off is so big that we got to switch cameras here. So,
yeah, so last week we showed off the wooden sword, and of course it's not complete without having the shield as well. So it's be coming up in a future project. It's I think it's like 700 millimeter size, so it's pretty big. It'll fit on the Type A machines. Has to print in 2 parts, and of course we got chrome for the outer, sort of gray, and we got the like a metallic blue that looks like a car paint job.
Yeah, I love this blue. This is really cool. So, did you talk about the NinjaFlex details yet?
No, so a lot of masking that went into having to color these separately, and because of these little details are a little bit smaller, I didn't want to do all the masking for that. So we just printed these in NinjaFlex, and because of the shield is curved, it could lay right on top of it, right on top of the curved parts.
Like
and
fabric,
yeah, it's sort of like fabric. Okay, so cool NinjaFlex, and of course the back here, the handle is built into there. Sort of big enough to add like the second one, with your arm there,
cool,
but we'll let people add that on there. You can easily move this and modify the CAD designs for this.
So it's put together with the skinny sticks, right?
Yeah, so it's 2 parts together because we don't have a printer this ginormous, but it is about 600 millimeters lengthwise this way.
Okay, so this is probably going to work best on the Type A machine, sort of scaled it for that.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So another cool project, another cosplay project coming up about 2 weeks, something like that. We'll show some of the cool CAD techniques because you can't do linear deformers inside of 123D. We'll show you how we did the curve shape on this. Seen a couple of designs on Thingiverse, but of course it's just like a flat sort of shape, not the cool curve that you get, what a shield is supposed to look like. So a pretty cool addition to the sword. You can get your whole cosplay, sort of outfit for Halloween. Print one of these guys out. So another cool cosplay prop there coming up for you guys.
Very fun. I wanted to ask some things about it. How long did it take to print?
We'll go over that when the project dates
cool.
up for that. You got cool project you've been working on?
Yeah, sure. So last week we showed the Raspberry Pi Girl, the Pocket Pi Girl. So here's the Pocket Pi Girl. You did some cool finishing and staining techniques to it, so it looks so much better now with sanding and the wood stain. So I really like it a lot. This project is coming out next week. The guide is put together, and we're just sort of beta testing and making sure that everything is sort of accounted for. We make sure that all of our guides are thorough, and we read through it immensely and make sure that it's thorough so that everybody can build it.
Recap, this one is a lot smaller than the original Pi Girl. Has, of course, NinjaFlex buttons, and the coolest thing about this is you don't have to hack up an old SNES controller, which was a little bit of a pain in the butt. Saw some of the comments that people would break theirs. Don't got to do that with this one. You're just using Proto, and of course has the built-in little speakers for this.
That's right. A couple months ago, speaking of the Proto project, the Easy Bluetooth Easy Key gamepad project is pretty much where I started from to make it so that the keys would work with it. So I took that keyboard, sort of the CAD from that, and then I integrated into this one. Real quick, some of the components that we're using. This is the new 2.4-inch Pi TFT. Very cool. Difference between this one and the 321 that's 2.2 inch is that it has the GPIO cable broken out so that you have it right here. You can access it and use a Pi cable while you add the socket here, and it snaps on top of the thing like a Pi hat. And then we also have buttons and stuff here, 5 buttons that you can put here, the slim kind, the 6mm slim kind. So that's really cool. It's a resistive touchscreen, so you got that. It's full color, and 320 by 240. That's really cool. To power the thing, we're using the new PowerBoost 1000C, so this has smart charging. and it provides all the power to all the components. So it's very cool.
Back up, the smart charging means that you can play and charge at the same time. It's not going to discharge while you are in the middle of saving the princess.
Yeah.
It's a very cool addition to a feature to the 1000C.
Yeah. And I love that we're using NinjaFlex for the buttons.
NinjaFlex, wood, bamboo, and before anybody says anything, why didn't you add 4 buttons? Well, they're all up here, and it seemed to work really nice when you're doing like the runs and jumps.
Yeah, these are 12 millimeter buttons. They're a little bit bigger, so I couldn't fit 4 of them up. But if you used these right here, which are 6 mil, if you used this and carried it over there, you would probably have enough room. You might want to move the speaker just a little bit, but I've been seeing a lot of you folks that that make your own sort of remix to it, and they always seem to add more buttons, and that's always a fun challenge to do, is to make how many buttons you want and make it accessible to you, fit it to your hand. That's what it's about. We just want to make the most easiest one, and pulling from the gamepad project was the easiest approach to it. So there you go.
Still definitely a design challenge for you guys out there if you want to add different sort of buttons on top of here instead of these.
Yeah.
Get the files. We'll release this next week.
Yeah. Cool thing about the project is you can pick these up right now at the Adafruit shop. So you can get 10% off if you use your coupon code. This week's coupon code is GUARDS. So check that out. Yeah.
That's right. Get some cool electronics to bring your 3D printed projects to life.
Oh yeah. All right, with that, man, I think we're going to jump into the next segment, which is your CAD. So give me a second here. We're going to talk about this week's project. And this week we did some prop guards for our drone. And the video talks about sort of testing high-strength materials. So in this CAD, you just wanted to share with us a little bit about the design of it.
Yeah, so we basically took the radius of what the prop guards and added a little bit of slack in there for the blades. I'm sorry, yeah.
So you take the prop, you measure the radius, and then you make a sketch, and then you sort of did you extrude it and then you created a shell? Or what did you
you extrude this and you create a shell. It was like 1.5 millimeters to start off, just so we could get something pretty thick, and then start working it down to see what the minimal sort of weight that we could get onto the material without being too brittle. So in the video, we go over testing, I think, 4 different types of materials. We tested the XT, the carbon fiber, ABS, PLA, and
no PLA.
We don't that's pretty brittle. There was one more that's escaping my mind. It's in the video though, but primarily, T-glaze. Primarily, it was to test out, what's the simplest sort of geometry that we could get that would protect the prop guards while smashing it in, at high speeds into a wall and door.
And keeping it lightweight so that you get more flight time. The thing about these prop guards is that you can customize them for your drone. There's so many clones out there. I'm sure the Hubsan has tons of clones using the same motors and the same props. So this will probably work with quite a few different micro quadcopters.
Yeah, so after we did the shelling and the thickness for the sort of the curved part that protects the blade there, went in there, and you actually figured out this one, getting the tension or the tolerance to be pretty tight on the motor where it attaches to. You added a little slit there.
Oh, the chamfer?
Yeah, a little slit
on
the little circular part there that attaches to the motor. Yeah. And it was a lot of going back and forth. You can see where I'm selected there is where we made the connecting parts a little bit bigger, because that's where we initially found out where all the breaking point was when we were smashing into walls. So I just made that a little bit more thicker, added some fillets in there to sort of give it more,
curve.
Yeah, more curve and more thickness to that part there, so it'd be less likely to break.
Okay, there's that slit you're talking about?
Yeah, so pretty cool little design there. I think it ended up weighing about, 0.4 grams for each one. So, and in the video, see, we accomplished, trying to get it about the same weight as the actual prop guards that come with it. So again, you can totally modify this if you want to add like another pillar, support like in the middle of that to sort of give it more, sort of protection when you're running into stuff. Or you can keep it light as you can by just having those 2 on the side there. Of course, like you said, I think the next thing we would want to do is actually connect all 4 of them so they're not separate pieces. Yeah. If you crash, one of them isn't going to pop off or anything like that. So it's probably something you guys could do out there. Just measure from the center of the circle and just lay 4 of those out. So it's like one big piece that has all 4 of the prop guards.
Okay, cool. So you uploaded this on Thingiverse?
This is on Thingiverse. You guys can check out the 123 files. So you can, all the sketches are there if you want to update, modify. If you're using different prop guards, that's the Hubsid 107C is what we're using for this. Yep. But like as we've seen on, it's a really good YouTube channel that shows us Quadcopters 101.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Check that out if you haven't seen that. There's a ton of really good, sort of Chinese knockoffs that perform very well for like $20. So can't go wrong with those. We check that out, and the prop guards are pretty universal, so they should fit any sort of those little micro drone sort of the category of what those are in. So pretty cool little project, the layer by layer for this. Again, check this out on our Thingiverse page.
Sure. Pick it up now. It's we got the link in the description. Okay, that's gonna be it for the layer by layer segment. So how about we jump into news, huh?
Let's check out what's been going on in the world of 3D printing this week.
Well, over the weekend, everybody was probably seeing their favorite Iron Man movie, The Avengers.
That's right.
Age of Ultron came out. We didn't see it. We were too busy. But we did pre-order it on iTunes, so it's coming.
I'm hoping we forget about it and then we just turn on the TV and it's like just there one of these days.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that
What is the average time again? Like a month or two, something like that?
I hope 2 weeks or something, because like I really don't want to get out there to the movie theater. And anyway, like last week we were talking about Star Wars and how somebody made the melted Vader mask. This week, another mask. This is the Ultron mask. This is crazy. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
It took a little bit of time and multiple people to create. So this was made by Jacob, Michael, and Sean. Sean modeled the whole helmet inside of Blender and handed it off to Mike and Sean to do the print processing and the sort of molding for it.
Okay.
Finishing touches for it. So they used a G-Max 1.5 TX 3D printer, which there's so many printers out there. I haven't even heard of this one.
I haven't heard of it, yeah.
Pretty good detail, judging from the parts that came out of there. Mm-hmm. So it was printed in 4 parts with supports. It took about 60 hours to print for the face and the top portion, and about 24 hours for the jaws and the ears. So looks like they didn't say what resolution they're printing at, but even at like 2.
I just didn't write it down. It's 1.5.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
Or no, 1.5, just 0.15. So 150 microns, and in some parts, and then other parts are 3.
Yeah, and you definitely want to use that high resolution because they're actually making molds out of this. And you don't want to spend so much time trying to sand away all of the ridges that are apparent with 3D printing. So he's using the, after he sanded it down and did the polishing, used XTC's 3D Smooth On to make it a little bit more smoother. So that when you're making the molds, you're not having all these lines. And after that, he's making the molds using the Rebound 25 and Smooth On Cast 300 to create the finished look of this, and then doing the paint job on it. Cool. He didn't say what he's using for the LEDs inside the lights, but you can definitely use like the 12 pixels. Yeah, like a 12 pixel ring to fit inside the eyes. It would be pretty cool.
Or a jewel.
A jewel would be really good, which is has pixels on the outer ring and then one on the center. Yeah,
pretty cool.
And Philby's got some pretty cool code to make them blink. Yeah. So definitely check that out if you're interested in making one of these. Doesn't release it for free on Thingiverse.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I think it's a commission project. The files aren't available to download, but it's just a cool sort of share to see. It's one of it's still cosplay and making props from your movies.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll show up on My Mini Factory one of these days.
Maybe.
So
yeah. Very
detailed. Cool. Be sure to print this one out when it's released.
Very cool and great job, guys. Okay.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Next up, how about a soldering workstation? This thing crept up on Thingiverse. I saw this, I was like, whoa, we gotta share this thing. This thing is awesome.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about it?
This is designed by 3D Hub's user, Techno3D. It's articulating arms made out of a ton of ball and socket joints.
Oh yeah.
The internal ducts inside for the arms can run wires between them.
So they're hollow, so you can run wires. There you go.
Yeah,
so you can
it's very awesome.
Test probing and stuff. Wow.
The guidelines offer like precision. You can adjust the
the little
rails in there.
Yeah. Okay, so you can make it fit your component. Do some solder mount.
Yeah,
stuff.
And this works with alligator clips, IC hookup grabbers, micro SMD grabbers, test clips. So this can hold almost everything.
Yeah. This reminds me of this thing.
Yeah, so we actually sell one of these super fancy third-hand kits. We sold out pretty quick. I think I got like 40 or 80 of them. So,
but you can 3D print your own.
And you can 3D print your own. You can never have enough of these. Definitely makes it easier than trying to have 3 third helping hands trying to hold something.
I just wanted to show Lamar holding it.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I don't know what the size of this one is, but yeah, the one that we have in the shop has a nice, heavy metal bottom and cool little places, cool little, what's it called, little places that add your little parts
that's right,
in there.
Yeah, so that's so cool. Okay, but it's cool that you can download it and print it out yourself and modify it if you want. That's really cool.
Yeah, so he's using a Zortax 3D printer. He printed this in HIPS, so should be nice and durable and hold a fair amount of weight.
I would love to see how the tolerances is on HIPS and stuff as opposed to the ABS and PLA. Because ABS is a bit more soft, so it'll be more forgiving with friction, and PLA is a bit more friction-based, and you tend to lose tolerances with it. So this would be interesting to see how it works with HIPS. Yeah. And the quality of it doesn't look 3D printed, man. It looks really good.
No,
it's
machined
phenomenal,
or something. Yeah. You can get the files.
That Zortax printer is probably pretty good.
Yeah, so you can get the files on Thingiverse.
Oh yeah,
3D print your own.
3D print your own.
And you can sign up for the Notify Me once we get additional ones in the shop.
Yeah, if you want to pick up some filament to print your own super fancy hand tool, use guards.
Yeah, get 10% off during checkout. Use guards. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight.
That's right. Okay, next up, this is the cool one. So. Shout outs to Josh from Design Make Teach. He was checking out this post from Tested, and they were basically they were fabricating their little mascots, their little blockhead mascots, and they started the traditional way of using a bandsaw, power tools, and specialty foam. So that got Josh thinking. He's like, hey, you know what? I could probably make one, a customizable one, so people can modify it and 3D print it. So he used their papercraft models. I think he extruded it out and then made it in Tinkercad. So he made a couple of them in Tinkercad, and he made it in a way so that you can print it with no supports. So you can see the shoulders are 45-degree angle, and little sneak peek. Yeah, he made me, so I thought that was pretty cool. He modeled me and captured my skin tone perfectly. I think that works really well, and pretty cool approach to making a really simple design, but making it so that people can customize it, edit it, and sort of make it your. It reminds me of the days of like making an 8-bit avatar for Twitter, and how that was like a nice, cool little thing. And now you can make it for real.
Yeah, I love that he made this inside of Tinkercad, so anybody could go in there and modify these designs. This reminds me also of sort of like the money sort of dolls that you just got like it's like the Dunny Money. So you got like a basic sort of shape that it was just one universal shape, and everybody, would paint it and make it in all these different variety type of designs based off that that base sort of shape for the body. Yeah. So this totally reminds me of that. You can sort of customize this and turn it into your own.
Yeah, avatar. And he also did one of Brooke Drum, CEO of Printerbot. So that was pretty fun. He's like making. In his mind, it's like let me make some celebrities. I'm not one, but it's still cool. So yeah, that's a really cool one. If you want to make your own, you can totally do so. Check out the link in the description.
Yeah, check out his blog.
Yeah, and his blog talks more about the story behind it. So very cool.
Very awesome make there.
All right. Next up, how about some more industry news? We've seen MakerBots and other 3D printers at hardware stores. This one's a little bit different.
Yeah, so this is at the Orchard Supply hardware store, which is sort of like a Lowe's. I'm thinking it's like a high-end sort of.
I thought it was Lowe's and Orchard, and they were like partnering up to do this.
Okay, yeah.
So that's probably what it is. It's a Lowe's store, but like specialty Lowe's stores that partnered up with Orchard. So this is pretty cool. It's instead of just selling printers, they have on-staff people that educating people about their service. So they have 3D scanning as well as So 3D scanning and 3D printing right then and there. I really like their applications are custom handles and knobs and things like that, which is really what you could print now. It would take like 10, 20 minutes, but it's something that's consumable enough to actually do it there at the store. Like it wouldn't be practical, like bringing really big stuff. You'd have to come back and stuff, but it's working. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'd really like to see how this works out.
Yeah, the difference between like something like a Home Depot where they're just reselling, printers and filament. I actually have people on staff here to help, introduce a customer, that may not have known that this is even possible. And I like that the application that they're using are just simple knobs and handles that can be printed within, the time that it takes to shop. So sort of giving them, the I don't want to say like the illusion that it takes, super
quick and fast.
But for those type of applications, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely like that. Like you said, they have the design staff on there to educate people, and very nice approach. Looks like they're using either 3D Systems or one of the other guys' printers for printing in ABS. It looks like.
Yeah.
So it'll hold up for your house wares.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah. We probably won't have one in our neck of the woods, but if you folks find one, let us know about it and tell us how your experience is.
Yeah, shoot a cool little video, send it over, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
Okay, next up, we got an update from our buddy across the pond, James Bruton, coming out with a new update to his R6 droid, Star Wars droid project build. This is a really cool one. So this week, doing a lot of upgrades to his transmitter. And he picked up an Adafruit RGB LCD Arduino shield, so he's going to use that to extend sort of his functionality in his transmitter. So let me show you guys his awesome transmitter. Check this thing out. This thing is so cool. So he 3D printed a couple mounts for the transmitter to extend it. So he's got the actual Arduino board and the shield mounted right on top there, and then he's got 10 extra buttons and stuff to do custom functions and quick shortcuts.
Yeah, so there are hotkeys for like changing the colors on the NeoPixel rings and the strips, and also doing like different servo positions. So he goes through his Arduino sketch and shows you how all the different values control what and change the colors on everything.
Sure, it's a nice walkthrough of all the libraries and just sort of his loop and what he's doing with it. So that's really cool. He goes through a lot of code this time around, a lot of debugging as well. So it's really fun to watch him do all that. So you were saying he was changing the NeoPixel color somewhere around here. I wanted to show you guys real quick. Yeah, very, very cool. This is an open source design, so you guys can actually download the CAD files and the Arduino sketches and follow along. This is really fun. This is cool. I've been watching him build it sort of from the frame. I remember when we started with the frame, it's just a bunch of pieces, and it's just a massive build. Again, it's an open frame design, so that you can see all the electronics and stuff, and I think that's going to look the coolest thing.
Yep. Check them out at xrobots.co.uk.
Yeah, every Tuesday and Friday, James has a new video, a new update on all his projects. He's got quite a few of them going on right now, and this is just one of the many very cool big builds that he's working on. So shout out to you, James. Keep up the awesome work. And yeah, cool. Folks, be sure to subscribe. Okay, that's going to be it for the news, right? Yeah, that is it for the news. And that's pretty much it for the show, folks. Thank you guys for watching, of course, and we'll be back here next week. I got some links and stuff for you guys to check out, so let's walk through those real quick. Pedro?
All of the guides for tutorials live on learn.adafruit.com. Be sure to check out there. If you ever see a video like on Asking an Engineer and you're looking for it, it's probably there. We launch all of our tutorials there before releasing all the videos. So definitely check that out for a spot to look for any projects that we may talk about. Yeah, if you want to join us every Wednesday, we have a show and tell show at 7:30 Eastern time. You can hit up our Google Plus page and comment on that post so that we can add you to the circle and you can come and join with us. Every Thursday is 3D Thursday. We got a lot of the stories we covered are on the blog and more, so be sure to check those out. And don't forget, they are also listed in the description to this video if you want to quickly jump to those, or just search 3D Thursday on blog.adafruit.com. Yeah, or just go in there Thursday. That's where they are. Yeah. Okay. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse at Adafruit. Noe is at Ekin, and I'm at VideoPixel. Definitely follow us if you want to see some of the behind the scenes of upcoming projects. That's right. And don't forget, use coupon code GUARDS. Get yourself 10% off your order. Don't pay full price. That's right. But until next week, be sure to
keep on making and learning and stuff.
See you guys next time.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. And fade out.